welcome to Sleep Begins. The day is over, the night is here, and it's time to give yourself permission to rest. Settle beneath your blankets, get comfortable, and allow the noise of the day to slowly fade away. Whether you're settling into bed or simply looking for a moment of peace, you've found the perfect place to unwind. Now, let's begin. It begins at the edge of a vast, ancient forest, where the land slowly changes without warning or clear boundary. One moment there is open space and soft evening light, and the next, tall trees gather closer together, standing in quiet rows that seem to stretch far beyond what can be seen. The air feels different the moment you arrive, cooler, calmer, carrying the fresh scent of pine and damp earth, as though the forest keeps its own unhurried pace. As you step closer, the ground becomes softer beneath your feet. Grass gives way to moss in scattered patches, and the earth feels more sheltered from the outside world. Nothing here feels sudden or sharp. Even distant sounds seem to fade naturally, absorbed by the trees before they can travel very far. The trees are large and old, their trunks marked by years that can no longer be counted. Some lean slightly, not in weakness, but with the quiet confidence of something that has stood in one place through countless changing seasons. Their presence feels reassuring rather than imposing, inviting you farther along the path. A light breeze moves through the outer branches before drifting deeper into the forest. It is just strong enough to stir the leaves overhead, creating a gentle wave that travels through the canopy before slowly fading. For a moment, a few loose leaves spiral softly toward the ground, coming to rest without a sound. Farther inside, the forest floor changes again. Moss grows thicker, covering root and stones like a blanket laid down over many years. Fallen leaves rest where they landed, becoming part of the earth itself. Every season seems to have left something behind, each layer settling gently over the last. Somewhere ahead, you begin to hear the faint sound of a stream. You cannot see it yet, but its quiet flow weaves naturally through the trees, blending so completely with the forest that it feels less like a separate sound and more like part of the landscape's gentle rhythm. As the evening light continues to fade, the forest changes almost without notice. Shadows lengthen between the trunks, while the last warm colors soften into cooler shades of green and gray. Nothing feels as though it is ending. Instead, everything seems to be settling comfortably into the evening. Standing there, you realize it feels less like entering a place and more like stepping into a world that has always moved at its own gentle pace. One that never needed to hurry and never asked anything of you except to slow down for a little while. As you move farther into the forest, the distance from the outside world becomes more noticeable. The light behind you fades gently, while the trees ahead gather a little closer. Not to block your way, but as part of their natural growth, making the space feel quieter and more sheltered. The path is no longer clearly defined, yet you never feel lost. The forest seems to guide you forward without a single word. The air grows cooler here, carrying a deeper sense of calm. Sounds do not disappear, but soften until even your footsteps seem to melt into the moss beneath you. The earth welcomes each step so gently that silence is never disturbed, only shared. Between the trees, the stream begins to reveal itself, At first, you catch only small glimpses of water reflecting the fading sky, before it slips behind roots and stones once again. It follows its winding course with quiet certainty, never hurried, never delayed. Its gentle murmur becomes a steady companion, always nearby but never asking for your attention. The trees here feel older than those near the forest's edge. Their trunks are broader, their bark deeply textured by seasons that have come and gone without leaving any trace of urgency. Some seem almost woven into the landscape itself, as though they have been watching over this place for longer than anyone could remember. As evening deepens, the last brighter colors fade into softer shades. Thin ribbons of light filter through the branches, resting for a moment on patches of moss before slipping away. The spaces between the trees fill with gentle shadow, and the forest settles naturally into the quiet comfort of approaching night. Now and then, small signs of life appear. Somewhere above, a bird shifts to a more comfortable branch before becoming still again. A squirrel pauses beside the base of an old tree, then disappears silently among the roots. High in the canopy, the breeze brushes through the leaves with a sound so soft it almost blends into the stream below. The farther you wander, the more everything seems connected. The water, the trees, the cool air, and the soft ground all move within the same peaceful rhythm. Nothing competes for your attention. Each part simply belongs beside the next, creating a feeling of gentle harmony that asks nothing more than your presence. By now, it becomes easy to forget the passing of time. The forest does not seem to be moving toward the night. It simply welcomes each moment as it arrives. And as you continue along the quiet path, you find yourself doing the very same. Night settles fully over the forest now, not all at once, but as a gentle deepening of everything already around you. The last traces of daylight fade, leaving behind a soft darkness that feels comforting rather than empty. Nothing about the forest has truly changed, only the way it is seen, as if the night has wrapped everything in a quieter light. Above you, the canopy becomes one broad silhouette against the sky. Here and there, pale moonlight slips through small openings, resting on leaves, branches, and patches of moss before drifting away again. The silver light comes and goes so gently that it feels less like illumination and more like a quiet companion on the path. The stream continues its steady journey through the trees. In the stillness of the night, its gentle murmur becomes easier to notice, flowing over smooth stones with the same patient rhythm it has followed for countless seasons. You find yourself listening without trying, letting the sound guide your thoughts as they become slower and lighter. As you wander deeper, the trees seem to gather around you in a quiet embrace. Their tall trunks create a natural shelter, and the cool night air remains calm beneath their branches. Nothing disturbs the peaceful balance of the forest. Everything rests exactly as it should. Every so often, a small movement catches your attention. A branch sways lightly in the breeze. Somewhere beyond the path, a tiny woodland creature slips quietly through the undergrowth before disappearing again. High above, leaves whisper together for a moment, then fall silent once more. These little moments never interrupt the calm. They simply remind you that the forest is gently awake. The ground beneath your feet remains soft with moss, roots, and layers of fallen leaves that have settled over many seasons. Each step feels cushioned, as though the forest itself is quietly welcoming you onward. The faint scent of cedar and cool earth lingers in the air, familiar now, as if you have known it much longer than a single evening. Time begins to feel different here. There's no need to think about minutes or hours. The forest asks for nothing except that you walk at its gentle pace, where each moment flows naturally into the next without hurry. You pause for a moment and look around. Beneath the moonlit canopy, everything feels peaceful, settled, and wonderfully complete. It is easy to imagine this quiet scene unfolding every night, whether anyone is here to witness it or not. And as you continue along the winding path, the forest seems to welcome you even deeper into its calm, carrying you gently into the heart of the night. The forest now rests in the deepest part of the night. Everything has settled into a stillness that feels complete, as if the world beyond has drifted far away and no longer reaches this place. There's no sense of change anymore, only continuation. You feel it around you, steady and unmoving, as the forest holds itself gently within the quiet of night. The stream continues to flow, though its sound feels softer now, blending almost completely into the surrounding silence. You notice it more in moments of stillness, the water moving over stone and root with patient consistency. It never rushes, never hesitates, only follows its course as it always has, quietly accompanying the night. Between the trees, the air remains cool and undisturbed. Occasional faint movements pass through the higher branches, but even these feel distant and unimportant, as if the forest allows everything to exist without interruption or response. The trees stand in complete stillness around you. In the moonlight, their forms feel unified, not separate. They do not feel like individual presences anymore, but part of something larger, something that holds the forest together in quiet balance. There is no urgency in them, only the simple act of being. Underfoot, the ground remains soft and layered with moss, roots, and fallen leaves that have settled over time. Each surface feels naturally absorbed into the forest, as if nothing here is temporary or out of place. You become aware of how stable everything feels, as though the earth itself is resting. Time feels distant now. It no longer seems to move in a clear direction or to matter in any way that can be measured. Instead, the forest feels as if it exists outside of that idea entirely, remaining in a calm and continuous presence that does not change from moment to moment. And in this deepest stillness, there's nothing left to search for. The forest does not ask anything of you. It simply exists, quiet, complete, and at rest within itself. The night continues, not as something moving forward, but as something that simply remains, and you remain with it, held gently in the calm of the forest, as the night continues quietly on.